Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into something huge. Maybe the biggest shift in how people find things online since Google itself.
It really feels that way. We're talking about how AI is changing search.
Exactly. If you're still thinking purely traditional SEO, you need to listen up because the old search results page, it's kind of dying.
Yeah, the numbers are pretty stark. I saw one stat, I think it was nearly 65% of Google searches, they end without any click at all.
65%. Just wow. People get the answer right there.
Right there from the AI summary or the snippet, they don't need to click through to your site anymore.
Which is why we need to talk about this pivot. Answer engine optimization, or AEO.
AEO.
It's not about getting the click anymore, is it? It's about becoming the source, the cited source for things like ChatGPT, Gemini, Bing Copilot.
Exactly. Being the trusted answer the AI uses.
So our mission today is basically to give you the playbook for that, how to win in this new AI-driven world. Okay, let's ground this in some numbers first, because this isn't theoretical, it's happening now.
Right. So you've got these AI overviews showing up in Google search results.
Yeah, those summaries at the top.
And when they appear, which is already happening in, about 18% of searches?
Something like that, yeah.
The click-through rate for the #1 organic result, the one you worked so hard for, it drops massively.
How much are we talking?
On average, a 34.5% drop.
Ouch. So you win the top spot, but the AI summary basically steals the traffic.
Pretty much. It answers the question before the user even scrolls down. And this trend, it's only going one way. Gartner thinks traditional search volume could drop 25% by 2026.
Because people will just ask the chatbots instead.
Yeah, for a lot of queries, these LLMs, these AI assistants, they're just faster and more direct.
Okay, so that brings us to the urgency, especially if you're running a startup.
Absolutely. The consensus seems to be you've probably got a 2, maybe 3-year window.
To do what?
To build real verifiable authority. Because after that, the sheer volume of AI-generated content, some good, mostly bad, it's going to be like a tidal wave.
Making it almost impossible to get noticed if you're late to the game.
Insanely difficult. The algorithms will just get overloaded. You need to establish your credibility now.
So this isn't just optimization, it sounds like survival.
It really is. If the AI isn't citing you, quoting your content, you're basically invisible to a growing chunk of your potential audience. You just won't exist in that new search paradigm.
Okay, the click data is, frankly, a bit terrifying. But let's pivot to the opportunity here, because it sounds like this whole shift, this AEO thing, it could actually level the playing field a bit.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. It potentially helps startups or smaller players who don't have, decades of domain history or massive ad budgets.
How so?
Because the AI, ideally, cares more about the best, most credible answer right now, not just who's been around the longest. Authority trumps age.
So it's less about gaming the system with old tricks and more about genuine expertise.
Exactly, and it changes the whole customer journey, the old marketing funnel. It's collapsing.
What does the new one look like?
It's much shorter. Think. Ask the AI assistant a question. Get an answer. See your brand cited in that answer.
So the AI gives you the credibility boost.
Right. Then maybe the user does a quick search for your brand name specifically, and boom, direct conversion. You're skipping a lot of the usual awareness stages.
And presumably the traffic you do get this way is much higher quality.
Dramatically higher. I saw this great example from a digital agency. They found about 10% of their organic traffic was coming straight from LLMs like ChatGPT and Claude.
Okay, 10%. That sounds interesting, but is it significant?
Well, here's the kicker. Of that 10%, a whopping 27% converted into sales-qualified leads. SQLs.
27% conversion to SQL. That's incredibly high.
It's phenomenal. These are people who are basically pre-sold. That AI did the initial research and pointed them your way.
So they arrive with really high intent. Is that sustainable, though? Or maybe specific to, say, a digital agency selling services?
Well, the intent factor seems universal. The AI acts as a filter. It synthesizes information and cites sources it deems trustworthy. So when someone clicks through from an AI citation, they have a specific problem and a reason to believe you might be the solution.
Makes sense. They're not just browsing aimlessly.
Right. And that agency also found these visitors spent 30% longer on their site compared to typical Google visitors. They were engaged.
So quality over quantity.
Precisely. Look at NerdWallet. Their traffic actually went down by 20%, but revenue went up 35%.
How?
By relentlessly focusing on creating expert content structured perfectly to win those answer snippets, those AI citations, they prioritized value over volume.
Okay, the why is clear. Big opportunity, big threat. Let's get into the how. How do we actually do AEO? The first big shift seems to be about keywords, or rather, questions.
Exactly. You need to stop obsessing over short, choppy keywords like cloud backup SaaS.
And focus instead on,
The full natural language questions someone would actually type or ask their AI assistant, like, what's the most secure cloud backup for small business?
why is targeting the full question so much better? Is it just easier for the AI to match?
It's partly that, but it's more fundamental. AIs are generative. They're built to answer questions. If your content is structured around the exact question,
With the answer right there.
then you're making the AI's job incredibly easy. It doesn't have to piece things together. It can just lift your answer. That dramatically increases your chances of being cited.
Okay, so structure is key. And you mentioned providing the answer up front. How literally do we mean that?
Very literally, the rule of thumb seems to be Q&A format. Put the direct, concise answer, keep it tight, maybe 40 to 60 words in the very first sentence or two, right under the question heading.
Just like a featured snippet in Google.
Exactly like that. You essentially win or lose the citation in those first couple of lines. Even if they don't click, your brand gets the mention. Then, after the direct answer, you provide the context, the evidence, the details.
Answer first, explain later.
Got it.
So beyond the actual words, we need to think about how the machine reads the page. Make it easy for the AI, right?
Absolutely. Think like a machine. Forget dense paragraphs, those big walls of text. Nobody reads them, and neither do AIs. Not efficiently anyway.
So what does work?
Skimmable formats. Short paragraphs, like 3 to 5 sentences max. Lots of bullet points. Numbered lists. Headings, especially H2s, should preferably be the actual questions.
Like, what is AEO as a heading?
Precisely. This breaks the content into logical, liftable chunks the AI can easily grab and repurpose for its answer. You might also want a short, maybe 90, 120-word executive summary right at the top.
Okay, makes sense. And then there's the technical side, schema markup. For someone who hasn't dealt with this, what is schema in simple terms?
Think of it like putting clear labels on your content for the search engine. It's structured data using a specific vocabulary, schema.org.
Labels for what?
For different types of information. You can label a section as an answer to a frequently asked question using FAQ page schema, or mark up step-by-step instructions with how-to schema. You're basically telling the AI, hey, this part here, it's an answer. This part, it's a process.
So you're just helping the AI understand the structure and purpose of your content.
Exactly. It removes ambiguity. And the data shows it worked pages using schema, reportedly got 58% higher visibility in AI snippets. It's a huge advantage.
Wow, okay. That's significant.
And don't forget multimodal. Your content needs to work for voice search too. Think speakable schema, and for chat interfaces. Include good images, diagrams with really descriptive alt text.
Why the alt text focus?
Because the AI might pull that image into its visual summary, and the alt text effectively becomes your citation in that context.
Okay, so we've got the structure, the labels. Now, how do we convince the machine that we're actually trustworthy, that we know what we're talking about?
This is crucial. It's all about proving your authority, which ties directly into Google's EEAT guidelines. Expertise, experience, authoritativeness, trustworthiness. The 2 E's are especially important now.
Expertise and experience. Let's break those down for AEO. What does experience mean to an AI?
It means showing you've actually done the thing you're writing about, not just theory. You need to include specific examples, mini case studies, like, when our team implemented strategy X, we saw Y result in Z months.
Real-world proof.
Yes, it demonstrates firsthand knowledge, which the AI is increasingly looking for to combat generic, regurgitated content.
And expertise and authoritativeness.
Yeah.
How do we signal that to a machine?
This is where entity authority comes in. You need to clearly define who you are. Create a dedicated page on your site for your company, maybe for key founders or authors. Use organization and person schema markup on these pages.
So the AI knows who's speaking.
And critically, ensure that your name, your bio, your descriptions are consistent everywhere, online, LinkedIn, Crunchbase, industry directories, guest posts. The AI connects these dots.
You're basically building a consistent, verifiable online identity for the machine to recognize.
You're engineering trust. Link author bylines to their detailed profile showing credentials.
This also relates to provenance, right? Proving where your information comes from.
Absolutely vital in the age of AI generation. You need to cite your sources clearly. If you're publishing original data or research, use dataset schema. Maybe even look into emerging tech like content credentials, C2PA, to cryptographically verify authenticity.
Show your work, basically.
Show your work, show your sources. AIs prefer content where they can trace the claims back to a reliable origin.
And finally, how should all this great authoritative content be organized on the site itself?
Not just standalone blog posts. You need structure. Build topic clusters, a main pillar page covering a broad topic, supported by lots of specific FAQ pages, case studies, related articles.
Hub and spoke model.
Sort of, yeah. Tightly interlink them. Use breadcrumbless schema to show the hierarchy you're signaling to the AI. Look, we don't just have one article on this. We have a whole structured knowledge base. We are an authority on topic X.
Okay, let's make this concrete. Does this stuff actually work? Any examples of companies seeing results from pivoting to AEO?
Definitely. There was this fintech startup in Bangkok, seed stage, going up against huge established banks. Total underdog.
What did they do?
They ditched the broad SEO tactics and went all in on AEO, created deep FAQ-style resource centers, used schema meticulously, focused entirely on answering specific consumer pain points around things like fraud prevention.
So they deliberately chose not to chase high-volume keywords. That must have felt counterintuitive.
Hugely counterintuitive. They had to give up chasing vanity traffic metrics. They focused purely on high-intent questions like, what are the safest digital wallets in Thailand?
And the result? Did their traffic explode?
Traffic gains were actually modest. But guess what? They started getting cited by AI assistants for that exact query.
Ah, so the payoff wasn't traffic volume, it was credibility.
Exactly. Suddenly, users asking that crucial question saw their name recommended by the AI. Investor confidence went up, brand trust went up, all from winning that specific citation, not from ranking broadly.
Trading broad visibility for deep, targeted authority. Okay, interesting. Any other examples? Maybe e-commerce?
Yeah, a US-based e-commerce SaaS focused on sustainable products. They used a similar playbook Q&A pages, original data insights about sustainability in their niche.
Targeting questions like,
Things like, where can I buy sustainable kitchenware online? Or what makes bamboo cutting boards eco-friendly? They started appearing in AI answers for those types of queries. The direct result, an 18% increase in US sales within just 3 months. It wasn't ads. It was being the cited answer at the point of high intent.
wow, 18% sales lift is tangible. And what about service businesses? Agencies?
Yep. BroWorks, a boutique agency, is a good case. They restructured their website content entirely around the specific, practical questions that potential clients were likely asking AI.
Like technical how-tos?
Exactly. How do I migrate a WordPress site to Webflow? What's the best CRM for a small agency? Very specific, action-oriented questions.
And the impact?
Remember that earlier stat? That was them. 10% of their organic traffic started coming from LLMs, and that traffic converted to sales-qualified leads at a rate of 27%.
Because the AI basically delivered pre-qualified, problem-aware leads right to their doorstep.
Precisely. AEO isn't just about visibility, it's about driving a highly qualified pipeline. Hashtag tag outro.
Okay, let's try and wrap this up. It feels like the big takeaway is that AEO isn't really replacing SEO, it's more like upgrading it, turbocharging it for the AI era.
That's a good way to put it. You still need the foundation of great content, technical SEO basics. But AEO adds these critical layers, the concise answers, the mandatory schema markup, the verifiable credibility signals.
And you need all of them working together. It's not pick and choose.
Right. It's a system. If one pillar is weak, say you have great answers but no schema, or great schema but weak credibility, the whole thing might not work effectively. You need that synergy.
Which brings us back to where we started, survival.
The fundamental question for anyone creating content online has changed. It's not just, can I rank on page 1 anymore? It's, can I be the authority that the AI cites? Are you building that authority content engine right now while you still realistically can?
So here's the final thought we want to leave you with today. As AI search, as generative answers become more and more the default way people find information, if your content isn't surfacing as that trusted, cited source, you're essentially invisible.
You're off the map for a huge and growing part of your audience.
So ask yourself this. When the AI answers the most crucial, high-intent questions in your industry, will it answer with you? Will the answer engine even know your name? You need to make sure it has every reason to.